My family disowned me after I told them this. Before we begin, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And don't forget to leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get started. I never thought it would come to this. I didn't expect that sitting down at the dinner table on a normal Sunday evening could unravel everything. I was holding on to this secret for so long, I figured. Eventually, the truth had to come out. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd accept me. Maybe they'd surprise me. I mean, they're my family. They're supposed to love me no matter what, right? It was a Sunday. I remember the smell of pot roast filling the house, my mom humming in the kitchen, and my dad glued to the TV, yelling at some football game like he always does. My brother and sister were arguing about stupid shit, who was supposed to take out the trash, and everything felt so normal. But it wasn't normal for me. Not anymore. We all sat down to eat, and I couldn't focus on the food. My hands were shaking, heart pounding, the fork slipping in my grip. I kept thinking, this is it. Do it now or never. I stared at my plate for a while, trying to find the words, but they were stuck in my throat. Finally, I just blurted it out. I have something to tell you. Mom was the first to look up. What's wrong? Are you okay? I could feel my brother rolling his eyes already. Oh great, here we go. More drama, he muttered under his breath, shoving food into his mouth. But I ignored him. No, I need to say this. I've been hiding something for a long time, and I can't anymore. I'm transgender. The words came out faster than I expected, like ripping off a Band-Aid. The second they left my mouth, I immediately wanted to take them back. It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. At first, no one said anything. They just stared at me. My mom's fork froze in midair, her face pale like she didn't even know what she just heard. My dad sat up in his chair, glaring at me like I had just spoken another language. What did you just say? He finally asked, his voice low, dangerous. I'm transgender, I repeated, quieter this time, my voice shaking. I've always felt like I was supposed to be a woman. I've been living a lie for years. Silence. Deafening, suffocating silence. Then my dad slammed his fist down on the table hard enough that the dishes rattled. Are you fucking kidding me? Dad, please. No. He cut me off, standing up so fast his chair almost tipped over. You're not doing this. You're not fucking doing this under my roof. Dad, I've been struggling with this for years. I don't give a damn what you've been struggling with. You're my son. You don't get to just decide one day that you're what? A woman now? That's bullshit. His face was bright red, his fists clenched, trembling with anger. I could barely look at him. My stomach was in knots, my whole body shaking. Mom hadn't said a word. She was just staring at me, her mouth slightly open, like she couldn't process what I'd said. I turned to her, desperate for something, anything, a sign, a shred of compassion. But her face was blank, like a stranger. Her hands were shaking too, but she didn't say a word. I'm still the same person, I said, my voice breaking. I'm still your child. I need to live as who I really am. My brother scoffed. What? So now we're supposed to call you sis or something? What the fuck, man? You don't understand, I snapped back, feeling the tears stinging my eyes. I can't keep pretending anymore. I've been dying inside for years. You're out of your mind, my dad muttered, pacing around the room. You're fucking crazy if you think we're just gonna go along with this. And then my mom finally spoke. Her voice was shaky, barely above a whisper. This isn't you. This isn't you. I don't know who this person is sitting in front of me, but it's not my child. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. It felt like everything inside me shattered at once. Mom, please, I begged. I'm still me. I just need you to try to understand. No, she said, shaking her head, tears starting to fill her eyes. No, I can't do this. I don't know how to. I can't even look at you right now. I sat there, feeling the world collapse around me. My own family, The people I thought would love me no matter what were looking at me like I was a stranger, like I wasn't even human. "I want you out," my dad said suddenly, his voice cold and final. "Get your shit and get the hell out of my house. I'm not gonna have this sick shit in my home." I blinked, stunned. "You're kicking me out? Are you serious?" "I don't care where you go," he snapped, his face twisted in disgust. "But you're not staying here. Not like this." My heart was racing. I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred from the tears. I looked around the table, hoping, praying someone would say something, anything to defend me, but my mom wouldn't even meet my eyes. My brother just shook his head like I was pathetic. "I'll give you 5 minutes to get out," my dad growled. I stood up on shaky legs, feeling like the ground was disappearing beneath me. I was being kicked out of my own home. I was losing my family, everything. Without a word, I turned and walked out the door. I didn't even grab my stuff. I couldn't. I just left. And with that, I was alone. I don't know how long I walked after that. I just walked through the neighborhood, past all the houses that felt so much warmer than mine ever had. The cold wind bit at my face, but I barely noticed. My mind was numb. I ended up sitting on a bench somewhere, staring at the ground, replaying the conversation in my head. My family had rejected me. They didn't even try to understand. They didn't care about my pain, about the years of torment I'd put myself through to finally accept who I am. They just threw me away, like I was nothing. The worst part? I didn't even feel surprised. I'd always known deep down that they wouldn't accept me, but knowing it and living it are two different things. And now that I was living it, it hurt more than I could ever imagine. I had nowhere to go, no plan, nothing. My whole life had been tied to that house, that family, and now I had no idea what to do. Eventually, I ended up at a dingy motel on the edge of town, the kind of place where no one asks questions and the sheets smell like cigarettes. It wasn't much, but it was a roof over my head. That's all I needed at that point. Just somewhere to fall apart in peace. I spent the next few days in that shitty room, barely leaving. My phone buzzed a few times, but I didn't bother looking. I didn't want to hear from them. I didn't want to hear anything. After about a week of silence, my phone rang. It was my sister. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. "Hey," she said, her voice low and hesitant. "Hey." There was a long pause on the other end, like she didn't know what to say. I could hear her breathing, trying to find the right words. "Look," she finally said, "Mom and Dad they're not going to change their minds." I felt my stomach drop. "What?" "They've made it clear. They don't want you back. They don't want this," she said, and I could hear the hesitation in her voice. "What about you?" I asked, my voice cracking. "Do you feel the same way?" Another long pause. Then she sighed. "I don't know. I mean, I still love you, but this is a lot. You have to understand that. I can't just flip a switch and accept it." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. "I don't need you to flip a switch. I need you to be there for me. I'm still the same person I've always been." "Are you?" she asked, and I could hear the doubt in her voice. "Because it feels like you're not." I couldn't breathe. I was losing her too. "I'm sorry," she said after a moment. "But I can't go against them. I can't." I hung up without saying another word. I didn't need to hear anymore. It's been months since I left home. I found a crappy apartment and a job that pays the bills. But that's about it. I haven't heard from my family since that phone call with my sister. It's like I don't exist to them anymore. I'm trying to move on, trying to rebuild my life. But it's hard. Every day is a struggle. I've lost the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally, and that kind of pain doesn't go away easily. I've started to forget, which helps a little. But the hurt is still there, deep down. Some days are better than others, but the truth is, I don't know if I'll ever fully heal from this.